This year, the SEVAs awarded special recognition to students who persevered through distance learning and all the challenges we faced in 2020. Students who created videos on timely topics using unique approaches were given the special Defining 2020 honors by this year's SEVA judges. Remember, these students are still eligible for the 2021 SEVA or honorable mention, and that this is all leading up to the big night on Sunday, April 18th. To celebrate all the Defining 2020 honorees that we announced this week, we have the full versions ready to roll next. First up, the Creative Expression Defining 2020 honorees.
January is the very beginning of this unlucky year. Coronavirus was discovered and announced, but nobody thought it could be that bad. January is also the month of Kobe Bryant's death. This month was bad, but no one was prepared for the year ahead.
February. In this month, there are about 1,751 people tested positive for coronavirus. Also, the first American dies from coronavirus, but still not that many people are worried about it. Eastern Turkey avalanches kill at least 38 people.
March. Coronavirus cases have reached up to 57,655 cases, and all around the world, schools have closed down into distance learning. Italy is the first country to announce a nationwide lockdown due to COVID. Also, the 2020 Olympics is officially postponed until 2021.
April. So far, global coronavirus cases reach up to 1 million. Also, 3 people died in a knife attack at a church in Nice, France.
May. Right now there are 1.25 million COVID cases and 19,327 deaths. This is also the month Black Lives Matter protests start due to the death of George Floyd and other people of color. Also, murder hornets are officially spotted in the U.S.
In June, there are about 10,260,000 people tested positive for coronavirus. Also, one of the largest locust swarms happened in India. It destroyed many crops.
July. Currently, there are 16,523,000 coronavirus cases all over the world. Some countries in Europe and Australia are also participating in the Black Lives Matter protests, along with America.
August. Coronavirus cases reach up to 23,690,000. There's also a fire in California called the Apple Fire. The Apple Fire is a fire that burned more than 33,000 acres.
September. Currently, there are 33,785,000 people with coronavirus. Black Lives Matter protesters are starting their 100th night of protesting. In the presidential election, President Donald Trump and Joe Biden are starting their first presidential debate.
In the month of October, there are about 38 million COVID cases. Also, at a college in North Carolina, there was a reported Black Lives Matter mural on campus.
Here in the month November, global coronavirus cases report to about 40 million. Joe Biden has officially won the presidential election 306 to 232, but Donald Trump reports it as an election fraud.
December is the last month of 2020. COVID cases have grown rapidly, and many doctors and nurses have been tested positive for coronavirus. The COVID vaccine is out, and they are now giving it to others.
This is the end of 2020, a very peculiar and unlucky year.
Lots of tragedies occurred in the year 2020, like coronavirus and massive groups of protesters.
We all hope that 2021 will be
A better and COVID-free year.
Long ago, we used to be in groups. Kids used to play together. No masks, no 6 feet distance. It was really fun. But then, everything changed. Parks were closed. Streets were empty. But we had a new start in our life. We learned to stay healthy and physically active, even through distance learning. But still, we miss being in school, and we hope to be back soon.
Why? Why all this? Is there any purpose? Any meaning? I feel that people are asking these questions a lot these days. Life is short, but will be the longest thing you'll ever experience. However, the universe has already been around for billions of years. We are so lucky to even exist. But why? There's just too many questions with not enough answers. I feel that the universe is not meant to be understood. Our lives are just a tiny speck in time. Our planet is just a tiny speck in the universe. We are so small that our even smaller brains cannot even comprehend or imagine it. But we all have one thing guaranteed to us, and one thing only. That is, that nothing lasts forever. You don't know if you've lived 20% or 50% or even 90% of your life. People seem to count up the days when in reality it is always counting down. The future is uncertain, so you gotta try to live in the present. The past and future are just thoughts in your mind. The only thing that you have in reality is the present. But why? Is there any purpose, any meaning to all this? I believe that your purpose could honestly be anything and everything. Everyone's life is different, so that makes everyone's meaning different. There is no answer to the meaning of life except the one that you create for yourself. So, go do whatever has meaning or purpose to you. Have fun. Enjoy your time with the people you love. Travel. Help others. Have a successful career. Live and experience life. Learn something new. Understand yourself and those around you. Step out of your comfort zone. You create the meaning. You don't know how much time you have, so start thinking about these things now. Maybe the universe is not meant to be understood. We don't know. Might never know. But that's okay. My answer to why all this would simply be, why not?
Okay, you're on.
Stay safe. Stay safe.
Stay safe. Stay safe.
I am an essential worker. Stay safe.
I am a nurse. I am an essential worker. Stay safe.
Stay safe.
Stay safe. Please stay safe.
Stay safe.
Please stay safe.
Hi, you guys. Stay safe out there.
I'm a teacher and I'm an essential worker. Stay safe.
Essential. Of the utmost importance. Something necessary.
I just want to say, everybody, just stay safe, wear your mask, wash your hands.
Stay safe.
Stay safe.
Stay safe.
Stay safe.
Stay safe, everybody.
Stay safe. I am a teacher. I'm essential. Stay safe.
I am an essential worker. Stay safe.
Stay safe, please. Stay safe.
The global pandemic has brought unprecedented change to our world. We owe a debt of gratitude to all of our essential workers. Thank you for keeping our society running.
Hi, students. Stay safe. Stay safe. Stay safe. Stay safe.
It's been hard. Or rather, it was hard. Now it's just empty. I'm not intrigued when I hear about the latest disaster. And there's no wondering when we go back. As if the days weren't all blended together. And suddenly, it hit me. The voice behind the music that filled the empty void of life and reminded people that the world isn't all that bad. It's creation. I didn't just have a new passion, I had a light at the end of the tunnel. And before I knew it, I was home. I can open my eyes and see the people I cared about without looking through a screen. Creation brought me from surviving to living. And living brought me home.
Congratulations to the Creative Expression honorees. Let's take a look at the Defining 2020 documentary videos.
In the past year, life has changed drastically due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Kids across the country have lost social interaction by not participating in school, on campus, or other curricular activities. Several companies released a COVID-19 vaccine in late 2020 in the hopes of stopping the spread and getting back to normal life. With much apprehension about taking the vaccine, I reached out to an infectious disease doctor to learn more about COVID-19, how it spreads, and why the vaccine works.
So I'm an infectious diseases doctor. I take care of people with infectious diseases, and I'm also the medical director of the California Department of Healthcare Services.
Dr. Karen Mark is helping to make a difference during the COVID-19 pandemic.
Our department runs the Medi-Cal program, which pays for doctor's visits and other health care for about a third of all Californians, including about half of all kids. So about half of all kids that go to your school. And I'm working with other people in the department to help make sure that we can get the COVID vaccine distributed to everyone on Medi-Cal. The COVID-19 is a virus, and it travels from one person to another in little droplets. So when someone who has COVID coughs or sneezes or talks or even just breathes, little droplets come out of their mouth with the virus. And those droplets can land on someone else's mouth or nose or eyes. And that's how that second person gets infected with the virus. That's why we wear masks, because the mask prevents the droplets from touching your mouth or nose. And like if I have COVID and I wear a mask, then it keeps the droplets all with me so they don't travel to other people. One of the ways that our bodies protects us from all infections, including COVID, is we have something called an immune system. And our immune system, when it sees COVID, we have some cells that like gobble it up. We have other cells that like see the virus and they say, oh, I know that's not part of me. And then they put a little flag on it. And then other cells will like kill those cells with the virus. And that's how our body fights infections. But it takes several days to several weeks for our bodies to develop that immune system. And after we have COVID and after we develop that immune response, we have certain memory cells that always stay with us and remember that virus. So if we get all better from COVID, we have those memory cells, and that helps protect us from getting COVID again. The vaccine works because it tricks our body into thinking we have the virus, even though we don't. The coronavirus actually means crown. And that's because the virus has these little spikes on it. And the COVID vaccine has a little code that creates just like one of those little parts of one of those spikes. So when we get the COVID vaccine, the body makes just that little part of the spike. And then our immune system recognizes that it's not part of us. And then it develops that whole immune response to it, and it develops those memory cells so that we have those memory cells, so that even though we didn't get sick from the vaccine, we still have the memory cells and we can fight off, if we get exposed to the actual coronavirus. So before the vaccine was distributed to the public, it was tested in lots and lots of people to make sure that it was safe and to make sure that it works. And it passed all those tests. So it showed that the vaccine works and that it is safe. All that data from all those trials were also reviewed by the Federal Food and Drug Administration and also the Federal Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. And they both also determined that it's safe. Getting the vaccine is a lot safer than getting COVID. So I'd rather have like a little bit of a sore arm for a day than, get really sick from COVID or maybe get COVID and pass it on to someone else. I've gotten the vaccine myself and it wasn't bad. I got a little bit of a sore arm, but other than that, I had no side effects at all. And I will also share that as soon as I can get the vaccine for my mom and for my kids and my other family members. I'll make sure they get the vaccine as well. So I feel very confident that it's safe. I just want to remind everyone how important it is to continue to wear a mask and stay 6 feet away from people and wash your hands. Even after people get vaccinated, we have to still continue taking those safety precautions for a while.
Encouraging the adults in your life to get vaccinated, kids can get back to learning on school campuses. They can take part in extracurricular activities and begin socializing like they did prior to the COVID-19 pandemic.
In this age of the world, not everything is certain.
Even now, our education can be in jeopardy.
These times have been
Just hard.
pivotal,
Annoying.
Challenging.
Your learning gets interrupted by Zoom because you're getting kicked off, and then you can't unmute, and then there's problems all the time with the technology and the internet because everybody's on Zoom at once.
Challenges of distance learning can really hurt the kids more than we even know.
Just not being able to see my friends is kind of...
There's so many distractions during Zoom, so I can get distracted really easy.
The challenges, oh my gosh, it's number one, and that is, it's really the social interaction. Even there's interaction, there's not the in-person interaction. And that I feel is the most important piece, especially now in these grades. We have to really build those relationships. For learning to happen, the relationships have to be solid.
What is the hardest or most challenging part?
Probably learning.
There is, however, light shining through all of it.
We'll just say the best thing is, I don't have to think about anything but what top am I going to wear, and I wear my cozy slippers every morning. So that.
Times in our class we do breakout rooms, and that's really fun. Or like when I feel comfortable, I just do it on the couch.
It allows some kids who are very tech savvy to really shine.
Probably the best part is that we're still doing school and we're still learning.
We're able to be more of a part on a daily basis as parents, a part of their learning experience.
Distance learning is a way to learn how to learn in a new, unique situation that, although it's difficult, is a gift of new knowledge.
Chances are you spend around 3.5 hours on your phone every day. Not bad, but it's nothing compared to teenagers.
My average screen time is like 8 or 9 hours a day.
This week, it's 4 hours and 30 minutes is my average for the daily.
Probably like 4 to 6 hours.
Average of 7 to 8.
Probably around 4 to 5 hours.
I am literally always on it. I think it's like 18 hours a day.
The average teenager spends about 7.5 hours on their phone every day. But why?
Mainly, it's just interacting with sites that I enjoy. So a lot of like YouTube or like listening to music.
Majority of the time is TikTok. If it's not TikTok, I'm usually watching anime.
It's like I use it to talk to people or for art references.
Is connecting with friends, listening to music, and creating art really all that bad? According to some adults, absolutely. There are hundreds of articles about how too much phone time rots your brain, how violent video games corrupt your mind, and more. These people assume that the issue is phones themselves. However, this situation is more complicated. It's not just the phone. The problem is social media.
I usually use TikTok the most. Snapchat.
I watch YouTube a lot.
Instagram.
Twitter, probably.
I was on Tumblr for a little while.
90% of teenagers have used social media. It's how teens connect. Social media can be used for positive activities. It's fantastic that teens have easy access to social interaction with their peers, especially during quarantine when they don't have the option of going to school. However, statistics show that social media does more harm than good. On all social media sites,
there's an overwhelming urge to be popular and fit in. Apps like Instagram and Twitter run on likes and comments.
Like Instagram, you get likes if people, approve of whatever you're posting. And I think a lot of people find validation through that.
It's human nature to seek approval from others. Let's take a look at Maslow's hierarchy of needs, an idea in psychology proposed by Abraham Maslow. This theory describes human motivation. Simply put, what drives us. The first two layers of the pyramid describe our basic needs: food, water, warmth, shelter, then security and safety. Just above that, we have belonging. Humans want to fit in and be approved of. According to Maslow, humans seek validation from social groups. In the absence of this love and validation, people can become lonely, withdrawn, and depressed. It's human nature to belong. Social media apps use this to their advantage. The like button exists to seek approval from others. According to a study conducted by UCLA researchers, teens receive large amounts of dopamine whenever they see more likes on their pictures. It's similar to eating chocolate or winning money. However, when teens receive less likes, they feel more strongly rejected and report more negative effects and more negative thoughts about themselves. In a study conducted by researchers at the University of Texas at Austin, a team simulated social media interactions with students. The study found that receiving less likes actually lowered the students' self-esteem. A second study using the same experimental task found that teens with the strongest negative reaction to receiving less likes were also more likely to experience symptoms of depression. As well as that, the pressure to receive likes and be liked can lead to insecurity online. And a big part of that has to do with body image.
I don't wear what a lot of people seem to deem as like, this is pretty. Or I don't seem to have the body type that people seem are pretty. And it's like,
it kind of, I guess, when I was younger, would encourage me to dress more normal. It's lame that my high school years just weren't good because I was so unhappy with myself outwardly, and I was so obsessed with that and trying to make myself look better that I let my studies fail. I would see my classmates Instagrams because I would just try to dress like them because I wanted them to like me, but at the same time I also didn't want to get bullied.
Often, the most liked photos and most popular accounts are ones featuring attractive people, celebrities like Kim Kardashian or Kylie Jenner. Unfortunately, the urge to be liked, that third level on the Maslow hierarchy of needs, fuels teens' desire to be just like these celebrity idols that get millions of likes. If people like them because of their body, then naturally teens want to look just like them. In fact, 88% of women say that they compare themselves to images in the media, while 65% of men report the same thing.
You can't really help but compare yourself to these people, I would look at girls and I'd be like, wow, if only I look like them, or I was tall like them, or skinny like them, and all that stuff.
You may feel confident, but if you go and see somebody and you compare yourself to them, that immediately kind of takes down your confidence.
However, social media is flooded with unreasonable standards. In the digital age, it's easier than ever to edit selfies using Photoshop or other apps. You can cover up blemishes, change your body shape, and more. Nearly 2/3 of Americans say that they edit photos before they post them. This can lead to disastrous consequences. According to Nia Chaudhry, a child and adolescent psychiatrist at Massachusetts General Hospital and Harvard Medical School, people end up creating unrealistic ideals for themselves based on what they see, and feel distressed when they aren't able to meet those ideas or self-expectations. This distress has been proven to manifest itself in the form of decreased self-esteem and poorer body image. Even worse, studies have shown that there's a link between social media use and the development of mental illness. Between 2009 and 2017, rates of depression among teens ages 14 to 17 increased by more than 60%. Rates of suicidal thoughts, plans, and attempts all increased significantly, and in some cases, more than doubled. This trend cannot continue. We need to do something. But is there a solution?
Personally, I think the solution for social media would be to eliminate the things that make people want to download social media in the first place. So the likes, the views, the comments.
There's obviously never going to be a perfect world where everybody is happy, but I think that I know I've seen a lot of body positivity trends and people just being unapologetically themselves, and I think just more stuff like that where it's you see someone and you're wow, that's really cool, and then you can kind of follow them and just be yourself more. And I think that the more people that start to show these little flaws, that I think that'll make it a little bit of a better place.
The one that may first come to mind is banning social media.
Social media kind of creates that dependency, and so if you really want to be happy and really like be in a good place, you're gonna like have to commit and delete it. And I mean, that's really hard, but like at the end of the day, like if you want to be happy, like you have to delete it, which is hard.
However, getting rid of it altogether isn't the solution. As mentioned before, social media is a genuinely good tool for teens to connect, especially during the pandemic with no in-person school.
On one hand, I think definitely, like, if everybody got rid of it, I think it would be great, but I just know that that's not realistic, and that it's just better to focus on, like, the good that can come out of it, and, like, just trying to make the internet, like, less of a toxic place to be.
We're already so accustomed to the profiles that we build in our life and how extensively we use social media that there wouldn't be a way for us to just get rid of it, because nobody would want that.
But clearly, something does need to change. Remember Maslow's hierarchy and the negative consequences of not being liked? Some apps are actively trying to find a solution to this issue. For example, Instagram is experimenting with removing likes on their posts. Users will still be able to like pictures, but the like count will be removed from public view. It's too early to see if this is helpful to the mental health of users, but it's fantastic to see companies attempting to solve this issue. The problem of unreasonable standards, however, is something more complex. The root issue isn't just perpetuated by social media. Before social media, TV and magazines pushed unrealistic bodies as well. This, too, leads to body dissatisfaction. As mentioned earlier, the consequences that result from this can include decreased self-esteem, depression, self-harm, and suicide. Did you know that more than 70% of people with mental health issues do not receive any kind of treatment or care? Almost 20% of high school students experience suicidal thoughts. Depressed teens are more than twice as likely to drop out of high school. There are extreme consequences for this mental health epidemic. They need treatment. According to a study by EAB, students are far more likely to seek treatment for mental health issues at school rather than a clinic. It is essential that we focus our efforts on making mental health treatment accessible. Schools are the best place for that. Referring to the report, schools are often under-resourced and underprepared to give students the treatment that they need. During an interview with the website Education Week, EAB Managing Director Pete Talbot said that, "We have a mental health provider shortage in this country. Schools have been thrust into this position, but they're not really resourced. In many respects, it's an unfunded mandate." The report shows that schools are failing at the following. 1. Identifying students with mental health issues early. 2. Taking advantage of partnerships with external providers. 3. Adequately reintegrating students back into the classroom after they have had a mental health-related leave of absence. 4. Combating the stigma of mental health. Much of mental health treatment is prevention. Reacting to students only after they are in a mental health crisis isn't good for the student or the teacher. Instead, schools should identify students early on and connect them with the treatment they need. In order to do this, schools should create early warning systems that help school staff identify students in need. They should have plans to help integrate students back into school after a mental health crisis. Finally, in order to combat the stigma, schools should have ongoing mental health awareness campaigns throughout the year. With these solutions, teens have the potential to avoid disastrous mental health consequences while still utilizing social media for good.
Now I don't care what other people think of me. I realized that literally 2 years ago, I think I finally was like, wow, it doesn't matter actually. Wow, it really doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter how many likes you get or how many followers you have. I learned now that everyone is beautiful in their own unique way. Yeah, sure, she might be tall and skinny, but I'm me and I'm not her and she's her.
If you struggle with mental health or your body image, there are so many online resources to help. The National Suicide Hotline number is 1-800-273-8255. You can call for crisis counseling and immediate help. Text HELLO to 741-741 for the Crisis Text Hotline, which connects you with a crisis counselor who can provide support and information over text. Also, the National Alliance on Mental Illness is the largest nationwide mental health advocacy group with hundreds of state organizations, affiliates, and volunteers. There, you can find support groups, free education, awareness, and community.
until either you're born or your actions match what your people are asking you to do, your citizens won't have any word for you.
Dear friends, I have known that you were adopted for a long time now. In the last decade, more than 500,000 children like you have been adopted in the US. But I was afraid to ask you about it because I heard about how some adopted children have been deserted or not loved. But to my surprise, you were quite open to sharing your adoption stories.
I'm adopted. I'm adopted. I am adopted.
We try to have our own children. Unfortunately, after one miscarriage and our attempt to get pregnant, it didn't work. So it was logical that it was time for us to pursue adoption.
I thought of like the stigma of not having your own biological children, but then I thought like, well, actually every kid is a gift from God. So whether it's biological or adoption.
Our adoption is the international adoption. We adopted from China.
All I know is that when I was a baby, my mom dropped me off on a farmer's doorstep and basically ran away. And then the farmer took me to the adoption agency.
So I'd gotten a call in October and they said, we noticed that you had checked Korea on your adoption list. And they had told me that the program opened up and that there were kids that were ready to be adopted. And as I understand it, his biological mother did not know she was pregnant. And when she delivered the baby at the hospital, she had put him up for adoption there. And then he was in the hospital for about 4 weeks before he went to foster care.
There was this one time I was eating lunch with a classmate, and I told her mom that I was adopted, and she didn't really believe me until some of the people that knew that I was adopted told her that.
After our second child, we decided to pursue an international adoption. We got our son from South Korea when he was an infant. He's now 15.
Adoption is very special because I now have tons of opportunities in life, and I now have a family that I probably wouldn't have had if I wasn't adopted.
And after that, we decided to get involved in foster care. So we have a daughter that we lived in Chico at the time that we adopted through Butte County Foster Care in California. And then recently we were trying to just do foster care, not adoption. And so we got a baby through Sacramento County, and she ended up staying with us and was adopted by us.
It's nice to know that you have people who care about you and they'll be there for you.
I love my parents.
For fathers, I know there's always a lot of fear about that, or, am I going to love the child and this and that. And I think that just from what I've learned in our story with 3 adopted and 2 biologicals, there's no difference. They're all your kids.
I think it's pretty cool because we're a diverse family, but I treat them the same as my biological brothers.
We believe strongly that we are adopted into God's family, and adoption for us is something that's pretty cool, pretty significant. It's always been a dream for me, a dream for us to show that same care, same adoption to someone else.
He was 11 days old when he came to us. We went through the foster to adopt. The whole thing was like a 2.5-year process, I would say.
Until it was finally completed.
I've heard of people like just making fun of them sometimes, or just telling them that they are adopted and make them feel bad. I guess I'd stand up for them and just tell them that they're normal and they have a purpose like everyone else, unique and special.
It's because he looks different. People look at him differently. So they see, for example, I'm walking with him. We always take walks pretty much every day, and our neighbors are like, oh, they look at us and kind of stare a little bit longer than if he had looked exactly like.
I went to some adoption agencies and facilitators to ask about what the adoption process is like for birth parents.
A woman is thinking about making an adoption plan for her child. She's usually trying to consider, can she parent the child? Does she know someone who can parent the child? And what's the status of the birth father? It's typically in a time of crisis. It could be she is unemployed. She could be in an addiction situation where she's using drugs or alcohol. She could be homeless, or she could be very young and just feel like she doesn't have the capacity to parent. There's a lot of misconceptions that it's women are giving away their children, when in fact what they're really trying to do is provide the best life for that child. And if she feels she can't do that, she wants someone to have her child have that opportunity.
I've never worked with a birth parent that I could say did it because they didn't love their child or deserted them.
His biological mom made a very, very tough choice. Whatever her reasons were, she chose to put Christian up for adoption. And for him and myself and our families, that was the best thing. In her tough time, she made a decision, but it turned out that decision brought Christian to us.
We are totally going to be honest and open. It's not that your mom didn't want you. She was just struggling, and she was having a tough time, and she loved you very much.
Your mom wanted you to be in a family that was able to provide and to love you and to take good care of you. And that's what we wanted to do for you.
I also found that there is a lot of support for the birth parents.
But we as social workers also can provide, as much support as they want or as little as they want. So I can be there in the hospital room holding her hand while she's giving birth if she wants me to be. But if she doesn't want me involved in her adoption plan at all, she just wants to sign paperwork and be done with things, we respect that as well. As part of their adoption plan, we talk about what kind of contact they would like to have with their child and the adoptive parents after adoption. So we do a legally binding contract here called a post-adoption contact agreement, and it will really specify if there's letters, if there's pictures, if there's visits, when and where, how frequently, it's really spelled out as to what the contact looks like.
Our daughter has a relationship with her biological sister, who is 24 years old, and her sister sought her out, reached out to CPS, who reached out to us via email, and so that's been a relationship that's been very valuable and meaningful to our daughter, and it's allowed her to have information about her biological family.
I have asked about my other parents. I asked how many siblings I had. I asked why I had to be taken away from them, and how many different homes I went to.
I have biological children and I have adopted children, and at the end of the day, they're just our children. It might be hard to imagine how it's possible, but it truly is possible that you love all of them the same. It's just, that love just grows.
I would like you to support other people who are adopted by being nice to them.
It's just really neat to see them grow into this little person. Hopefully they'll grow up and be productive members of society, and we're giving them the chance that they didn't have.
You have shown me through sharing your stories that adoption can turn a person's uncertain situation to raise a child to become a child's hopeful journey in a loving family. Thank you for sharing your love in adoption.
Since January 2020, I've lost 3 chickens, 3 cats, and 1 dog. And now in 2021, as the vaccines begin to roll out for the elderly, I've started to reflect on what I've gotten done and what I've experienced with the time I've been given at the expense of my senior year. I've experienced my mom's sister get the vaccine as well as my dad's sister go on a ventilator. Each day that goes by makes me question if I really had the virus a month before quarantine even started way back in February. Maybe it wasn't cold-related asthma and a sinus infection, and maybe that's why the 2,000 milligrams of antibiotics a day didn't work. By the end of this pandemic, there's a good chance you'll know someone who's had it with varying results. This is why I'm staying inside, and as we face possibly the last 6 to 9 months of the pandemic, I have a list of 5 things you can do to sort of keep yourself occupied, as I have done for the past year. Number 1, exercise. It takes a few months to see noticeable progress, and make sure to start out small but consistent. Number 2, expand your wardrobe or do some room decorating while discovering new music. Number 3, talk to your friends over Discord. Discord is an app that's like Zoom but just better in every aspect. Our server is structured like my friend's house. While you're at it, why not start up a Minecraft realm? They're pretty cheap, and for your first month you get it for free. Number 4, do some reading. Most of the books they have us read in high school are pretty crap to the ones that are actually out there. Lastly, for number 5, learn manual, or if you want to find a project car, you could pick one up for pretty cheap. I think I can speak for a majority of the class of 2021 when I say it does suck that we lost our senior year, but we've all kind of accepted it. It's just kind of like out of our control. There's nothing we can do, so why not change the things that are in our control?
Congratulations to the documentary honorees. Next, we have the school news videos that received this year's Defining 2020 recognition.
Welcome to MN News!
Maroney.
Our PTO is working hard to bring us more virtual events.
We have a Valentine's craft tonight.
For $5, you can get cookies to decorate, cards, and a Zoom link. And how to Zoom link, let's go to Miss Maroney for a sneak peek at the Zoom Valentine's art lesson.
Let's go to it.
Hi, Larkoffer friends. Mrs. Maroney here, and I couldn't resist. I had to share another little art project for a mini art docent. I have to tell you, you better join us Friday, February 12th, 6:30 p.m. We're gonna do Valentine cookie decorating and little crafting card night. So it'll be fun. It'll be Zoom. Join in. I'll be there, and we can create some more together. But for now, let's do a little fun art project. So we're gonna use some tin foil, and you're gonna scrunch it up just a little like that. You're gonna lay it flat, and you need some pens, nice and easy. And then you're just gonna color on it. And it's gonna actually make this beautiful watercolory look. And usually the darker colors are better. And you're gonna end up with this amazing metallic heart. Cut it out. You can color the other side if you're gonna hang it up by a window. Or in this case, I think I'm gonna add it to a Valentine card and I'm gonna send it in the mail. All right, so there you go. I won't cut out the whole thing, but look at that. It's this beautiful metallic heart that you made out of tinfoil and pens. Super simple. All right, friends, I hope you have a good rest today.
Thank you, Mr. Maroney. That sounds like a lot of fun.
It sure does. Well, this episode, we have a lot more amazing videos. So let's get to it.
Yes, we do. First up, Maddie and I had a chance to talk to our Elk Grove mayor.
Yeah, we did. Let's go check out some clips.
Good morning, Mayor Bobby.
Good morning, buddy. How are you?
Thank you for coming to our studio.
Thank you for inviting me. I'm very excited to be here with you this morning.
Can you tell us what a mayor does?
What does a mayor do? Well, I am considered the leader of our city. We live in Elk Grove, and so I am the leader of our city. One of the big responsibilities I have is to make sure that our city is safe. It's safe for all of you and all of our other community residents. So I want to make sure that Elk Grove is a safe city. And then I'm also responsible for helping bring new businesses so that we have jobs in Elk Grove and other businesses all over our city. We want to make sure we have safe, clean roads and parks. That's an important job. And we also want to make sure we have activities for our kids in Elk Grove so that you can enjoy your city. I work with, they're called city council members. So just like you have classmates, these are my classmates. How does that sound?
That's awesome. What is your favorite part about being mayor?
Well, one of the most fun things that I get to do is this morning talking to you. That's a super fun thing for me to do, is to make sure that I get to connect with all of our students. I still really like doing that.
We also heard you were on our school board.
I was for 8.5 years.
What was your favorite memory on the school board?
My favorite memory about being on the school board was dressing up as Wonder Woman and reading about anti-bullying. I got to have a front row seat for all of our graduations. I got to hand out diplomas to our graduates, and that was very special. But just talking to students like you and learning about your hopes and your dreams.
Wow. What was school like when you were a kid?
What was school like when I was a kid? So I was born in India. And when I moved to America, I was 4 years old. It was a little hard, especially in elementary school, because the kids looked different than me and the language was different. So it took a lot of hard work and belief in myself and making new friends. But I always felt like I was a little different. But when I started making good friends, then I really started to feel like I belonged. And belonging is an important thing for every student, right? And as I grew up, I then started to see other students that also came from India that also looked like me. And that was super helpful too.
Who inspired you to do all that?
Who inspires me? Well, you know what? You all inspire me. You inspire me because I love learning about your hopes and your dreams. So you're a big inspiration. My mother is also a great inspiration. She's one of my role models because she always taught me to be kind to everyone, to help, to volunteer. She always showed compassion and kindness for everyone. I'm also inspired by our teachers because they work so hard every day to make a difference in all of your lives.
What would you like for Elk Grove?
What would I like for Elk Grove? I want Elk Grove to be a community that where you as kids love spending time in our city, so to create more activities and places to go. That's an important part. Now I'm going to be working really hard towards. Let's create a city where we can spend time here in our city and enjoy great activities, great restaurants, parks, and other great things. Enjoy riding our bikes in Elk Grove and making sure that it's safe and bringing new jobs so that your friends and family, they can work here.
What do you have for kids like me to be successful?
Well, first and foremost, never give up. Always believe in yourself because that's super important. Find something that you're passionate about, that you love doing. That also helps to be successful. When you need it, don't be embarrassed to ask for help because to be successful, sometimes we need to ask help, right? But to be kind, being kind will help you be successful because we need kind people in this world. And dream big. There is no dream that is too big for you. But I'm so proud of all of you. You are working really hard right now and you are showing that you care about our community. So I am super proud of you.
Thank you for visiting our studio in MM News. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Wow. I can't believe our mayor came to our studio.
Yeah, I learned so much from her.
Me too. One day I want to be mayor.
Yeah, me too. Hey, I heard Sean has something to teach us next.
Yeah, he does.
Let's go check it out.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. Today I will be showing you how to change your background on this. So, what you do is you make a new tab, click on images in the corner over there, and then you type in what you want. And then you click on the one you want, then double tap, and then you click on Save Image As, and then you click on Save, and then over here it says Show in Folder, Copy to Clipboard. You click on Show in Folder, and then you click the X, go all the way back here, click that, set wallpaper, and then you go to the image, and bam. So that is how you change your wallpaper. Bye!
Thanks, Sean. I cannot wait to add a cool wallpaper to my Chromebook.
Yeah, me too.
You know this year's been very different without being on campus.
Yes, it has, but our PTO has been doing a great job keeping us connected.
Kaylee and Nicole had an inside interview with the PTO to share.
Roll the clip.
Hey Mustangs, Nicole here. And Kaylee. We are here with the Markhoffer PTO to get the inside scoop on what they have been doing over distance learning.
Yeah, hey Mustangs, how are you doing connecting with Markhoffer families over quarantine?
We felt that it was very important to keep doing events to keep a sense of togetherness. We've always had a very strong community at Markhoffer, and we wanted to make sure that was going strong. So instead of canceling Fall Festival, we came up with something new, Fall Bingo. Instead of canceling Cocoa and Cookies, we made Cookies and Cookies 2.0 and made it a drive-through event. Markhoffer has tons of traditions, and we love to keep those strong and hope that in the future, we still can do them again too when we're all together.
Those events were so fun.
Yeah, I love them too.
What other ways have you given back to the community?
We feel that Markhoffer Mustangs have big hearts, and so we decided to do a few things that were outside of our own school and our own community. So in November, we did a coat drive, and we collected many coats. In December, for the Cocoa and Cookies event, we had it be a canned food drive entry, so you had to bring a can, and we were able to collect over 600 pounds of food. And then Kindness Week is coming up in February, and we've come up with some ideas for Mustangs to give back to the Elk Grove community as well.
Sounds like you care a lot of the community.
We have had a strong sense of community always in Markhoffer, so that is number one for us to keep that going.
How can families stay connected?
Well, the best way for you to stay connected is to sign up on our PTO website, markhofferptboard.com. By giving us your email, you'll receive all the announcements and you'll know exactly what's going on. There's a great calendar on there. It's a great resource to be able to know exactly what's happening at Markhoffer, and especially with the PTO. And then if we have events that require a payment, you can make your payment right there. So it's super easy and super user friendly. And then of course we have Facebook, we have an Instagram. And then always, if you have an idea or some way that you would like to communicate with us, please feel free to email us at florencemarkhofferpto@gmail.com.
I can't wait to see what the PTO comes up with next.
Make sure you tell your parents to sign up on the website to never miss an event.
Thank you, PTO. See you later, Mustangs.
Thank you, PTO, for your thoughtfulness.
They worked so hard, and their events have been so much fun.
Yes, they have. Our reporter Rex is having some fun in the snow.
Let's head outside and have a look.
I'm interviewing this snowman. Snowman, are you having a good day?
Yes, I am.
Well, I have some jokes for you.
Okay.
Well, you have a dog? You do? What do you name him? Celeste, Puppy. This is Whitney, the snow woman. He wants me to tell her about her days. Do you like carrot cake? Why? It's so good. They taste like your boogers. Tastes like a cat to me. Do you want to go dancing with me? You do? Let's go to the snowball. Snowball! Wait. Oh, you have Girl
so good.
That's funny.
Snow is so much fun. Remember when we went snowshoeing? Yeah, that was an adventure. You know, Harper has a lot of fun helping the community. So, yeah, let's head over and learn a little more about what Girl Scouts do.
Hi Mustangs, it's me Harper. Today I wanted to share a fun activity I do. If you haven't guessed by my outfit, I'm a Girl Scout, a brownie. People think of those delicious cookies when they think of Girl Scouts, but it is so much more. My Girl Scout troop meets a couple of times a month, and we do activities to help our community, and also activities that educate us and build friendships. Some of the things we do are collect canned food for the food bank, make cards for the elderly, done science projects and art classes. Each activity we do, we earn badges like these. Some of my favorite activities were canned food drive, art projects, and wizard science projects.
Wow.
Although the pandemic has forced everyone to stay socially distant, our troop still stays active using Zoom. Let's check in with my troop leader, Tiffany, to see how she makes our activities special even though it's online. Hi, Miss Tiffany. Thanks for meeting with me.
You're so welcome. I'm excited to be here.
I have some questions for you.
Okay.
Why is Girl Scouts so important?
Well, Girl Scouts is important because it teaches the girls leadership and life skills, and it gives girls confidence to try new things. Doing work in your community to give back, and then also making sure that we take care of the environment around us. And then it also allows for friendships and bonds to form with the girls.
Great answer. How do you make the meetings special even if they are on Zoom?
Well, it's definitely a challenge to make the meeting special on Zoom. Of course, we'd love to be together in person. But what I think the key thing is to plan the meetings is to make sure that we do a lot of pre-planning. We also try to make them hands-on, so the girls get to do at least 1 or 2 hands-on activities during the meeting. And then another important thing is to make sure that we do things that we know the girls will enjoy. So far, our meetings have been pretty successful, so that's exciting.
Thanks, Miss Tiffany. See you next Sunday for our meeting.
Great, thank you. I'm excited to see you next Sunday.
So I hope you learned a little bit about what the Girl Scouts are all about and enjoyed seeing what I get to do. If you're interested in joining, have a parent join you and go to www.girlscoutshcc.org.
That was so great, Harper.
Thank you, Nicole. Girl Scouts is so fun.
Yeah, it is. I love being a sister Girl Scout with you. My favorite part of Girl Scouts is the friendships and, of course, the cookies.
I love that part too.
Mr. Blackwood has an important message for us.
Let's head over to Markoffer and see what he has to say.
Hello, Markoffer Mustangs. This is Mr. Blackwood with my trusty friend here, Marty Mustang. And we just wanted to say hello to everybody. Haven't seen everybody for a long time. And we're excited to be part of the mini Mustang news broadcast. Mostly, I just wanted to remind you that, you know, these are tough times and we would just like to feel better. And if you do something kind for somebody or say something kind, that always will make you feel better. So we have Kindness Week coming up. Our PTO is sponsoring Kindness Week the week of February 16th through the 19th. The 15th is a holiday, so it's a 4-day, and we will be dressing up. Our dress-up days are Tuesday will be wear pink or red. That's for Valentine's Day. Wednesday, my favorite, superhero day. On Thursday is crazy hair day. My hair is getting kind of long, so I might be able to actually do something. And Friday, our absolute favorite, everybody's favorite, pajama day. So Marty and I just want to make sure that everybody is being kind, being nice. Don't be afraid to help around the house. So while we're still in distance learning, to feel better, do something nice for somebody and you will feel better. All right, Mr. Blackwood and Marty signing off. Have a great day.
Thank you, Mr. Blackwood.
Yes, thank you to all our interviewees.
Yes, it has been a packed episode.
Yes, well, that's all for now.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell.
Well, and remember, I'm Wesley.
I am Madison.
Bye, Mustangs!
Hello, Shelley. Thank you for your time.
I'm so glad to be here, Juliet.
The Ranch Cruiser Holiday Lights. I'm so excited for this event. 200 light features. This event is put on by Ranch Cordova Community Council. I have some questions about it, Shelley.
Well, shoot, I'm here to answer all your questions.
Where did you get the idea to do an event like this?
Well, you know, because of all the COVID problems we've had in this past year, we can't do a lot of the fun Christmas things that we normally would do, right? Which includes gathering around a big Christmas tree and having all kinds of fun things together. But as we put our lighted thinking caps on, we decided, you know, we could still have a fantastic light show that everybody can come and enjoy from the safety of their car. And let's just let our minds run wild and see what we can come up with for a fun family outing for anybody of any age.
Mm-hmm. Do you need generators to keep all the power going with all the light bulbs?
That's a great question. We actually are very blessed on our property at 2300 Mineshaft Lane, right off Highway 50. We have all the power we need. So if you want to imagine this, we had to find places to plug in about 550 plugs. Now imagine that.
How many days and hours does it take to set up?
Well, we have been kind of working on it for the past couple of weeks. One of the things we've just built is a light tunnel, so that kind of started right back around Halloween. But in the last few weeks, every few days, we get out there and we start plotting our design, and it's starting to take shape. Now, next week, the week before we open, that's when we'll have all kinds of volunteers out there helping us bring it to life, and it'll all happen in just a few days. Kind of Christmas magic.
What is the biggest light feature you set up?
Well, I would say our light tunnel, a tunnel of lights, it is about 150 feet long.
Where is the event occurring?
Well, most people would know this location as the old Mineshaft property. And that's on right off Highway 50 between Sunrise Boulevard and Hazel. It's the best way to get there is to take Folsom Boulevard, like from Sunrise Boulevard, and you won't be able to miss it because you'll see a lot of lights. Then there's another really important part of this, Juliet, that some people may not even know about, but it's turning into be one of the most important parts of the holiday lights. And that is that, Christmas is that time of year for giving, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we have partnered up with about 5 really wonderful local nonprofit organizations. And when you buy your tickets, if you want, you can make a donation to that to them, and they include things like the Cordova Food Locker and Whisker Warriors. The Veterans Village is looking for pillows, and you can also bring things with you. For example, you can bring a toy to donate to the Rancho Cordova Police Activities League's Christmas giveaway for kids who don't have as much as you or me.
Thank you, Shelley. The Rancho Cordova holiday lights look so exciting.
More than 50 million students attend public and private schools in the U.S. Last March, a vast majority of them transitioned to online learning when COVID-19 forced them to lock their doors to protect against the virus, making kids learn virtually. Teacher and student experiences are wide-ranging. So what is it like for teachers and students at Heron School after almost 7 months into distance learning? Let's find out. I asked a fellow student, Jaden Hernandez, how he is dealing with distance learning.
I'm Jaden Hernandez. I'm in 8th grade.
What is your opinion overall on distance learning?
It's very different because it kind of feels like homeschooling because we're at home but we're still doing school at the same time. I'm not a huge fan of it.
Jessica Murphy, a teacher at Heron School, agrees with Jaden.
I don't like it. I miss my kids. I miss having you guys all in my classroom and getting to hang out, ask questions, and have a little bit more personal relationship with each and every one of you guys. Plus, getting to see you guys' smiling faces is way better in person than on a computer.
Teachers were expected to design remote learning plans quickly. Jessica Murphy explains that she had to adjust her teaching strategies, that a lot of her lessons are now very different.
Distance learning overall has affected me just like it's affected everybody else. It's hard.
Of course, we all miss school and the real connections with teachers and students, and hope to go back to normal soon. Meanwhile, though, I asked them both if they have any tips on how to stay focused during online lessons.
Something I would recommend is to turn off your phone and just stay focused on your class and stuff. Because that's kind of affected me. It's helped me focus a lot more.
The biggest one that I've noticed is trying to make sure that your video is on, because if your video is on, then you tend to pay a little bit more attention. You're not so disengaged. And then the other part is just making sure that you are really, really focusing on just the Zoom meeting. Don't be focused on YouTube or video games or having the TV on in the background. Just focusing on the Zoom meeting allows you to listen to the teacher's words and not just hear it in the back of your mind.
As you can tell, to be a successful distance learner, you have to be self-disciplined and be able to work well independently. Both teachers and students are affected by online learning, and I hope you follow the tips provided. Thank you for watching and stay safe.
Hello, my name is Rexus Bonzon, and I'm going to be interviewing kids on how COVID-19 has affected them playing sports.
Hello, my name is Maxwell Bonzon, and I'm a competitive basketball player.
Hi, my name is Camille. I'm Rexus's cousin, and I'm a competitive dancer.
When I first heard about the lockdown, I was a little mad because my basketball team was doing really good at the time, but then when I heard the lockdown happened, we just couldn't play with anyone.
I was very shocked, and I didn't really know what was going on, and I thought it would just be a couple weeks, but then when it turned into months, I knew it was very serious.
I played in the backyard with my brother, and I played at the park when no one was there, so we can stay safe.
We first started out by doing watching the videos that my teachers were And then we started doing Zoom classes, and my dad got me a ballet bar to practice, and I had to adapt to the floor that we had.
I kept in touch with my coaches and teammates by having a couple Zoom calls and sending in workout videos to show that I've been playing basketball on the court.
I would just call and text my teammates, and with my coaches or teachers, I would take some private lessons, and I would be able to communicate and ask more questions.
When I first tried it, it felt kind of weird because my teammates weren't there, so when I couldn't pass the ball to them, so I just practiced shooting and dribbling with my brother, but it wasn't the same.
It was very different, and I didn't have my teammates encouraging me and being able to talk to, and I wasn't able to ask as many questions for the teachers.
I learned how to release a higher arc in my jump shot. I learned how to do dribble moves, be faster, and I learned how to keep my right hand stronger because I'm a lefty.
I was able to learn from different choreographers around the U.S., and that helped me learn more movement and dance, and we should take advantage of what we have.
Thank you for watching my news story about how kids that play sports are affected by COVID-19. I hope you take this as encouragement to never give up even though we're in this pandemic, and work hard to try your best on your passion.
It's that time of the week again, and today we bring to you another athlete from Franklin High School. This time we bring you Michael Lloyd, a center for our varsity football team, to see what he's been doing during COVID.
I'm Michael Lloyd. I'm an incoming senior, and I play O-line, specifically center. I've been playing, I think this is my 10th year, and I played up strictly Franklin, so the Franklin Junior program. And now, I played center, which I currently play. I played right guard. I played basically the whole O-line in my life, and I've also played defense, but I just love center, man. That's my position.
With COVID closing down gyms and training facilities, we asked Michael what were some things he was doing to stay ready.
When COVID hit and shut down the team workouts, I've been just trying to get better on my own. Some days I do more like conditioning, so I'll maybe run a couple miles, and then other days I'll work on more footwork, like the ladder drills, maybe sled, and then cone drills to work on my football footwork. I've just been trying to better myself, so I've hit up a couple of my friends and we lift almost every day, and then when people can't get together, I'll just come to the field and just try to get better on my footwork.
With a unique football season that's being pushed back into winter, Mike commented on the new change and how it will affect the team.
Well, we run a really tough, hard-nosed, ground and pound offense, so when we just hit people in their mouths early, it'll be cold and they just don't want to get hit for the rest of the game, so that'll play to our advantage.
Talk about the expectations for the O-line this year. You guys are looking as a good, pretty O-line in the Delta League. What's your guys' expectations for the O-line?
So my expectation is just, we were pretty dominant last year. We just got to clean up the mental mistakes such as holdings, false starts. So I just want to get together with my guys and we can talk about how we can hash those out and fix them so we can just be extremely dominant like the 2014-2015 Folsom O-line.
Mike Lloyd and the offensive line look to turn heads in the Delta League. As he heads into his senior year, Mike has an offer from Lewis and Clark College in Portland, Oregon, and looks to build on his list.
Well, college football is always something I've been wanting to do. It's been one of my dreams since I was a kid. And so far, I have an offer to Lewis and Clark College. Go Pioneers.
All in all, with size, physicality, strength, and knowledge, Mike Lloyd hasn't let COVID stop him from perfecting his craft. He looks to have a spectacular senior year, helping the Wildcats in their run game. This is Denson Cortez reporting for Wildcat TV.
This has been Michael Lloyd, and you're watching Wildcat TV. Go Cats.
That wraps it up for the school news honorees. We're now going to move into the instructional defining 2020 videos.
Hi, I'm Harper. And I'm Nicole. COVID-19 has been affecting us all year. Schools are closed. Restaurants are closed. You can't visit friends and family. Life is hard. It's so important for all of us to do our part and stay safe and healthy. Today we are going to go over how to stay safe and connected with friends. Did you know that germs can travel up to 6 feet? That's why it's so important to stay 6 feet apart. This is what 6 feet looks like. If you can touch your friend, you are too close. There's a right way and a wrong way to wear a mask. As you can see, this mask is way too big, so it will not protect me. This mask is a great fit. It's nice and snug, and it will keep the germs out. Washing your hands is really important to stay safe and healthy. Make sure you have soapy water, and make sure you wash for 20 seconds. Sometimes I like to sing happy birthday 2 times. Those are the most important ways to be safe and healthy. Here are some ways to stay busy and also connected with friends. Be a pen pal with your friend and send them a letter. Or go for a bike ride. Read a book. It's really fun to Zoom your friends. How are you, Harper? Good. Thank you so much for listening to our public service announcement. For more information, please visit cdc.gov and covid19.ca.gov.
This is my Grandma Susan, and we're going to be talking about the history of our family's Christmas cookies. Now, Grandma, tell me a little about Christmas baking when you were little.
My mother started baking lots of Christmas cookies for friends, neighbors, relatives, teachers. We made over 20 different kinds of Christmas cookies every year, and we gave them out to the folks that we thought would really enjoy them.
Now that's a lot of cookies.
This is my mom, Karen, right here. She's gonna say a couple more things about cookies.
I have a few favorite memories. I remember growing up, Mom used to always bake the cookies, and we would do it ahead of time.
Yes.
You'd do it a little bit, and you'd package them all up for people to send out. But she also loaded up our freezer at home, and it was always in the garage. The freezer was in the garage. And we had this one specific Christmas tree shaped tray that we could go load up with the cookies, and you'd take a few out of each kind and you'd let them sit for a little bit so they weren't frozen anymore. But I loved just reloading that tray. It was like an endless supply of cookies. I felt like as a kid it seemed like that anyway. But I think that was the fun part for me, is like always going into that freezer and loading up more cookies.
What's so special about baking cookies to you?
The Christmas cookies that we made, we only made at Christmas time. There weren't any chocolate chip cookies, oatmeal, nothing like that. They only were baked at Christmas time. My mom wanted them to be very special. They were all about 1 or 2 bites. My mom felt very strongly that people should be able to try several cookies without being full.
That's actually very good so that we don't get full. How long did it take for them to make?
It took my mom, my sister, and myself about 3 or 4 days to make all these cookies.
What were your favorite cookies that you baked?
The pecan fingers and the thumbprint cookies.
Bet those tasted delicious.
Yes.
I should try them when I bake them. I'm pretty sure she just likes them all.
Yeah, actually. What are your favorite ones?
Okay. I basically like them all, but I like the blossom where you put the peanut butter base and put a kiss in it. I like the Reese's one, like the gingerbread ones. Yeah, I pretty much like them all. Today I'll be showing you how to make one of my family's favorite treats. It is called the peanut butter blossom. This is a classic cookie that lots of people make at Christmas time. Before we start cooking, I'm going to tell you a bit of history behind the cookies. This recipe was actually made in 1957. A lady entered a Pillsbury Bake-Off and she won with that cookie. My great-grandma cut it out of a magazine and then we started making them. My family's been making it for a lot of years, so
So I'm going to teach you how to make them, so you can make them for a lot of years. Before we begin, you're going to have to unwrap all the Hershey Kisses, which is going to take a while, so we're going to do it fast forward. Let's get baking. First, we're going to sift the dry ingredients. Why do you have to sift things? Because it makes it not have clumps in it, and you don't want clumps in cookies. That ain't good. You need 1 3/4 cups of flour. Then you put it in the sifter and you sift it. After you sifted your flour, you'll be adding 1 baking soda, then 1/3 teaspoon of salt. Then put it into the bowl. We're gonna cream together the butter, peanut butter, sugar, and brown sugar. 1/2 cup of butter, that's 1 stick. Into the mixer it goes. Might need a little help with the spatula. Then 1/2 cup of peanut butter in the bowl too. Might need help from the spatula again. Then 1/2 cup of brown sugar and regular sugar into the bowl. Mix it up. For wet ingredients, we have 1 egg, 2 tablespoons of milk, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla into the mixer. And keep mixing. Scrape down the sides to make sure it's all mixed. Add the dry ingredients to the wet ingredients at just a little at a time. Make sure not to over-mix it, or else you have tough cookies, and tough cookies are not good. Now shape them into cookies. For the shaping part of it, you can take a scoop and then you roll it around your sugar. Put it on the pan. And then keep on doing it for the couple batches. Preheat the oven to 375 degrees. Next, bake the cookies for 8 minutes. Have an adult do this step. Next, take them out of the oven once they're done. Then immediately put a Hershey Kiss onto them. After you place a Hershey Kiss in each one, put them back in the oven for another 2 minutes. After that, place the cookies on the cooling rack.
So now that we have baked them, we're gonna try them. These look really yummy. Tastes good how you get like a piece of chocolate. Real good. Real good. I hope you go try this cookie. It's so good.
What do you like about making cookies now?
I like eating them, baking them, taste testing the dough, and like icing some. Cookie decorating is my favorite thing to do around the holidays, especially the gingerbread ones. Help make them. One of my favorite parts about making cookies is rolling up the dough and doing it with my family. Choosing the cookie cutter. Some old, some really old, and some brand new. There's so many cookie cutters, and this is just the Christmas ones. There's a story behind some of these cookie cutters. Let's go talk to my grandma about them. Where did you get the cookie cutters and the recipes for the cookies?
Some of the cookie cutters came from my great-grandfather. He was a tinsmith. He made them for my great-grandmother. Those were passed down through the generations. And then some of the recipes came from friends or neighbors. Some came from magazines. We picked out different cookies, and sometimes we thought, no, we don't like those. Let's not make those anymore. Let's see if we can find others. I think my favorite memory about all of this is that this tradition is being passed on to your mom, and I would hope that you would continue this too. We all find cookies that we really like, and we make the ones that are our favorites. So it's changed over the years. It's not the same 20 cookies, 20 different kinds of
now
cookies.
Now we have like 100 cookies.
I'd have to say, I also like keeping the tradition alive and keeping going with the recipes. Some years we change it up and we don't do the same cookies. Some years it's fun finding new recipes to try, and we'll try them, and some years it's like, oh, okay, no, let's not do that one again. Or sometimes we're like, hey, that one was good, or do we really need to make that other one anymore? That we found a better recipe. But sometimes you just can't change the classic recipes. Some of the classic ones we have to do every year.
The cutout cookies, the gingerbread, there's some you have to keep.
We have to make. But then there's others, it's like, oh, well, let's try that, or if I have time. And I know you always try to make a variety, like we have some bar cookies, the shaped cookies, we have the slice and bake cookies. We try to make a little something for everybody, some fruit ones, some nut ones, some chocolate ones. It's just fun making a variety.
So thanks for watching. I hope you go bake some cookies with your family and pass them down to your generation after generation. Bye.
My name is Gracie, and we know it's hard having to use a Chromebook, so today we're going to be teaching you how to use one. First things first, when you are turning on your Chromebook, don't keep pressing the on and off button. It will not turn on and not work for you. Here's an example. This student right here opened the Chromebook and kept smashing the on and off button. Do not do this, it will not turn on. Also, you may not slam on the keyboards. It may damage the keyboards and you might have to pay for it.
Here's a video of a person smashing the keyboards. Do not do this, it may break the keyboard. Down below, you see some icons. They are your app. Another careful and important rule is you must be very careful with the Chromebook. It is very fragile and easy to break. You have to be able to know the controls to be able to use a Chromebook. So now let's talk about the controls and see how to use them. Controls are an important part of the Chromebook. First things first, we're going to talk about copy and pasting. Copying and pasting is really easy to do and really fast. To copy, it's Control C, and then to paste, it's Control V. Another important control is Control plus Shift plus Q to log out of your Chromebook. For this control, you are supposed to do Control T for a shortcut to open up tabs quickly, and Control Shift plus T to close the tab. Last and final control is really simple. To edit bookmark, all you need to do is press down and hold the control key. While holding the control key down, press the letter. And that's all you need to know about the Chromebook. Soon you'll be an expert. Thank you guys for listening. See you soon. Bye. Bye.
How to have COVID-safe gatherings. As we all know, the best way to hang out with friends during this pandemic is through Zoom. I'm guessing you've already been doing that for the past year or so. So, if you want to see a friend, or maybe even two in person, here are the steps on how to do it safely. Step 1. Before planning your hangout, check if you have any COVID symptoms. That includes, but isn't limited to, fevers, the loss of taste, the loss of smell, or even headaches or fatigue. Step 2. Once you're 100% sure you don't have any symptoms, schedule your hangout, but try not to set your location at a coffee shop, the mall, your house, or anywhere inside. Outside is better because air can circulate, and it has a lot more ventilation than you would have inside. Step 3. Before you meet up with your friend, pack food if you plan to eat. It's best to bring food from home and not share to lessen the risk of getting the virus. Step 4. When you meet, stay 6 feet apart at all times, whether that means having a socially distant picnic like this, riding your bikes around the neighborhood together, or even playing online phone games like Minecraft, Among Us, or Roblox. But really, anything outside will suffice. Step 5. Be mindful about when you take off your mask. If you're eating or doing something like that, it's obviously okay to take it off. Just remember to put it back on once you're done. You may even need to have your friend remind you to. Step 6. Skip the goodbye hug. I know it sucks, but we have to stay 6 feet apart at all times. So give your friend a wave or even an air hug. Step 7. As soon as you get home, before touching anything else, wash your hands with soap and water, but just a reminder that this clip is sped up, and you should be washing your hands for at least 20 seconds. So count to 20 or even sing a fun tune. And you're done! Now you know how to have COVID-safe gatherings. Stay healthy and wear a mask!
Are you distracted by your phone or too distant in thought, daydreaming that you even forgot you're in class? If so, here's 10 ways to be more prepared and engaged than before. Move to a quiet area. You want to move somewhere quiet so you can hear more without adding to the noise. If you have siblings, you should ask them to be more quiet as well. Move devices away. Personally, I get quite distracted playing games or watching things on my phone. So toss those electronics to another room. Not on your bed though, because you'll end up there. Move other things that may distract you. This is the same idea with electronics. You don't want your attention on anything other than class or homework. Make sure you are situated. You don't want to feel uncomfortable during class. So make sure you're wearing something that matches the weather or grab some blankets. Turn up the volume. You want to hear everything your teacher says, not just seeing and taking screenshots every now and then. Try participating. While you're listening and your teacher asks the class a question, try replying. Even the chat counts. You don't want to leave your teacher hanging. Get enough sleep. I can't stress how important sleep is. You do need 8 to 10 hours of sleep each night. Eat. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Your health is very important. You matter, so make sure you're eating. It's always hard to think on an empty stomach as well. Water is just as important. Stretch. You've been sitting all day and your posture may be getting bad as well. There's no harm in stretching every now and then throughout the day. Make sure to put effort. It may be hard, but you got this. I know you do. The only guarantee for failure is to stop trying. John C. Maxwell. Thank you for watching.
Hey everybody! Today I'm going to be sharing with you 10 life hacks on how to dominate during distance learning. So let's jump right into it! We all know how difficult it is to wake up in the morning, especially when school is only a couple of feet away. To feel refreshed and energetic in the morning, drink a warm cup of water with lemon juice. Be careful when cutting the lemons. You might need adult supervision, just in case. Warm lemon water rejuvenates your skin and cleanses your body. Most of the time when we are tired in the morning is because we are dehydrated. So remember to drink water right when you wake up in the morning to feel ready for the day. To wake yourself up, put your moisturizer in the fridge so it's cold and ready for you to use. This allows the product to last longer and give off a soothing effect on your skin. Most of us like to stay in bed while doing school, but it puts so much strain on our back. An easy fix is to use a mini desk made for your bed. You can sit up while doing your work, while staying in the comfort of your own bed. You can get many headaches from being on the computer all day. Blue light glasses have been very helpful in reducing the bright lights on screens to give a more calming orange tone to look at instead. Here's the difference. This will help reduce the amount of headaches and keep your eyesight intact. If your headaches still won't go away, it could be the air quality in your room. Use an air purifier to clear the air and create a healthier environment for you to study in. Your headaches still won't go away? Well, headache or not, it's important to constantly be drinking water since you're at home staring at a computer screen for a long period of time. Place your water bottle on top of your phone so every time you go to check your socials, you remember to drink some water too. Have you ever accidentally closed a tab you didn't mean to? Just press Ctrl-Shift-T, and the last tab you had open will pop back up on your screen. To-do lists remind us about all the things we were supposed to do, but procrastinate on. So make a more specific to-do list, listing every single small assignment or chore you need to get done. The more items you check off, the more productive you feel, which motivates you to keep working. Use sticky notes to organize important assignments, reminders, or any information you may need to see on the daily. Stick them in places you know you will see them for sure and toss them out when you finish the task. When writing notes, use blue pens. Research shows you'll be able to remember information easier when it's written in blue ink rather than black or red ink. That's all for this video. Remember all these tips so you can thrive in distance learning. Stay safe, everybody!
My name is Haley Snyder and I'm a senior at Center High School. Many students this year have been struggling with distance learning, myself included. I've noticed that for myself, it's easy for me to slip into a state of depression and just having no motivation in general. I've learned through trial and error what helps me not get into those states and what helps me keep my motivation and my positive energy. And I would like to share what I've learned with others just in case it could help anybody.
The most important thing is personal hygiene. This is stuff like brushing your teeth, washing your face, brushing your hair, taking a shower. If you feel clean, your self-confidence and your energy levels will go up and you will overall just feel better. It's really important to not just drink a little bit of water every now and then, but to continue drinking water throughout your days and to stay hydrated. It's really important to remember that iced coffee and juice and tea and stuff like that does not substitute water.
If you struggle with eating disorders or you just have a bad relationship with food or anything of that nature, there are videos on TikTok and on YouTube of people eating their meals specifically designed to help and encourage people who have struggles eating. Helps them just to feel okay about eating their meal and encourages them to fuel their body and be healthy.
It is extremely helpful if you have a specific place to put all your schoolwork. When I'm not working on my schoolwork, it stays in my backpack. This helps me stay organized, so if I need something, I always know where to look for it. Taking time out of your day to just relax and do something that makes you happy is very important. This could be playing with your dogs, or cooking, or painting, or going on a walk. Basically just anything that makes you feel happy. People tend to forget that your happiness and your mental health should be your priority.
Lastly, we have the public service announcement videos that received a Defining 2020 honor.
Do you love to travel? Well, so do I. Hey, did you know that you can still travel safely? I always bring hand sanitizer, a mask, and always make sure to keep 6 feet apart for somebody who's not your family. For more information, go to this website. Hope you have safe travels on your next adventure.
According to teenmentalhealth.org, 1 in 5 teens suffer from mental illness. And mental illness can cause the person to make decisions with permanent consequences. But if she had reached out, things might have been different.
You touch the bars, then you touch the doorknob and shake hands. You come in washing your hands with soap and water for at least 20 seconds, washing the tips and fingers. The other person comes in, looks at the sink and says, "Meh, I'll do it later." To avoid getting sick, wash your hands. For more information, visit the site.
Hi there. Help stop the spread of COVID-19 by wearing a mask.
Not like this, nor this, but like this. Nose, chin, and mouth are all covered. When you're putting on the mask, make sure to adjust the metal wire to the bridge of your nose. Proceed to hang the strings to your ears and pull the bottom of the mask down, covering your chin. Press the mask down to fit better. It should look like this.
Do not share your mask or reuse them. Think about your health and those around you. Wear a mask and wear it right. And don't forget to keep your distance.
How long has it been like this? When will this end? Is it okay to not be okay? Can I help this on my own? Things are different now. You reached for me when I was at my lowest. When I needed it the most, you gave me courage.
Congratulations to all the student producers that received a Defining 2020 recognition for their video. Remember to tune in to this year's SEVA Award Night on Sunday, April 18th at 5 p.m. on SECC's Comcast 16. Please visit secctv.org for the latest updates. We'll see you next week when we announce the finalists for this year's contest at 5 p.m. each day. Thanks for joining us.